What if a penny in your pocket was worth thousands? In this episode of Numismatics Hub, we reveal three seemingly ordinary Lincoln cents, the 1987 D, 1996 D, and 1990, that have shocked collectors by selling for tens of thousands of dollars. From rare minting errors to flawless condition and even missing mint marks, these coins hold hidden secrets that could turn spare change into serious cash. Don't overlook what might be sitting in your wallet. In the quiet clink of pocket change, in the shadowy corners of old mason jars, in the forgotten folds of wallet linings and dresser drawers, lies a mystery so easily overlooked it might just change your life. A copper coin, barely over an inch wide, with the most familiar face in all of American coinage. Abraham Lincoln staring stoically ahead, date stamped just below, 1990. It's a year that seems ordinary, even forgettable. But hidden among those billions of 1-cent pieces, produced without fanfare, is a secret. A rare breed of Lincoln cent that's worth more than its weight in gold, silver, or even a new luxury car. This, dear collector, is no ordinary penny. This is the 1990 Lincoln cent, a coin that has stunned the numismatic world and sold for eye-watering amounts, between $23,000 and a staggering $112,000. Now, at first glance, this penny might not impress you. It looks like every other Lincoln cent you've handled. The same profile that's graced American currency since 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner, still elegant and enduring. The reverse, in 1990, still carried Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design, a stoic classical structure in the backdrop, Lincoln seated between its columns if you look closely enough. And beneath the date on the obverse, as expected, a small letter might be there, or might not. And that tiny detail, that one single letter, is where this incredible story begins that in 1990, the U.S. Mint was operating as usual, producing hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. Coins from Denver carried the D mint mark beneath the date, as always. But in Philadelphia, a major change was about to take place. For the first time in decades, the Philadelphia Mint was supposed to include a P mint mark on all proof coins struck that year. It was a decision that marked a new chapter in coin identification. But fate, as it so often does in the world of numismatics, had a twist in store. Somewhere between the decision and the execution, an error occurred. A small number of 1990 Lincoln cents intended for proof sets, those polished, mirror-like, deeply struck masterpieces designed specifically for collectors, left the Philadelphia Mint without the P mint mark. In other words, proof coins meant to carry a visible hallmark of origin were struck with no mint mark at all. To an untrained eye, they'd look like ordinary circulation cents. But to a collector who knows what to look for, they might as well be marked with diamonds. The discovery of a 1990 no mint mark proof cent shook the collecting community. At first, disbelief. How could such a thing slip through the rigorous quality controls of the U.S. Mint's proof production line? But the evidence was clear. The mirror fields, the frosted devices, the sharp edges. This was a proof coin. And it lacked the one thing it was absolutely supposed to have. The absence of a mint mark turned these pennies into anomalies. And anomalies, in the numismatic world, are everything. But even beyond the famous no-S proof, there's more to the 1990 Lincoln cent's allure. Because that year, amid routine minting and colossal production numbers, something unusual began to happen. Collectors started noticing 1990 cents with strange features, doubling in the date or lettering, off-center strikes, weak impressions, and in some rare instances, exceptionally flawless coins with pristine surfaces and razor-sharp details. The kind of coin that escapes the chaos of the real world and makes it into the protective hands of grading experts, who sometimes hand them back with a whisper-worthy grade of MS-67 or even MS-68. Coins like these become legends, not for what's visibly wrong with them, but for how impossibly perfect they are. That level of condition, combined with even the most subtle error or anomaly, becomes a collector's jackpot. And then came the auctions. Imagine it. A crowded room, hushed but electric. The 1990 Lincoln cent takes the stage. The bidding starts, predictably modest. But then the whispers start. This one's a proof, no mint mark. Or this one's a flawless business strike, graded MS-68 red. The kind of coin most collectors dream of, but never hold. The numbers rise. Fast. 5,000. 10. 20. 40. Someone online jumps in. A collector on the floor refuses to blink. And when the final gavel comes down, the room exhales. Another penny, another marvel, has crossed the finish line, sold for over $100,000. And just like that, a single cent cements its place in history. But what makes this story truly powerful isn't just the coin, it's the connection. These Lincoln cents have passed through generations. From cashier drawers to children's piggy banks, from lunch counters to toll booths, they've touched more lives than any modern currency. The idea that one of them, lost in the blur of routine, could be the one, that possibility is what brings new collectors to the hobby every day. It's why parents teach their kids to look at their change. Why roll hunters spend hours hunched over boxes with magnifying glasses and bright lamps. Because with the 1990 Lincoln cent, history, mystery, and money intersect in spectacular fashion. You don't have to be a lifelong numismatist to appreciate the thrill. There's something almost emotional about it. The idea that the ordinary could be extraordinary. That a penny could carry the weight of a nation's minting history, the mistakes of machinery, the fingerprints of fate. That something worth 1 cent today could be worth more than a luxury vehicle tomorrow. It's no longer just a hobby, it's a treasure hunt. And the treasure is real.so. Here's the question. Have you checked your 1990 Lincoln cents? Look closely. Is it a proof coin with no mint mark? Does the detail jump out at you with impossible clarity? Does the surface shimmer like it's never seen daylight? That 1 cent might not just be a coin. It might be a ticket into a club of collectors who understand what it means to find the impossible, to hold history, to own something that others will spend years searching for. Because hidden in plain sight, in the back corners of albums and bags of change, the 1990 Lincoln cent has quietly become one of the most valuable coins of its era. And among its rarest forms, whether missing a mint mark or glowing with perfection, it has fetched jaw-dropping auction prices ranging from $23,000 to an astonishing $112,000. Oh, don't blink. Don't toss it away. And whatever you do, never underestimate a penny. Especially not this one. In the world of pocket change, few things are more underestimated than the copper-plated Lincoln cent. It's that small, unassuming coin that most people barely glance at. It jingles at the bottom of purses, hides in couch cushions, and disappears into car cup holders without a second thought. But every so often, hidden among the billions, one of these pennies defies its humble nature. One of them becomes a legend. One of them is worth more than most people earn in a year. And one of them was minted in 1996 in Denver. The 1996 D. Lincoln 1 cent coin is one of the most deceptive pieces of currency you'll ever see. It doesn't shine with silver or dazzle with gold. It doesn't have the dramatic flair of a dollar coin or the heft of an old silver half. It's quiet. It's simple. It looks exactly like a billion others. But the truth is, buried deep in this coin's copper surface and zinc core is a story that turns heads and breaks records. A story that can only be told by those who look close. Very close. It all starts in Denver. The Denver Mint, nestled in the heart of Colorado, has been producing U.S. coins for over a century. In 1996, its machine struck over 6 billion pennies, each one bearing the tiny D beneath the date. The Lincoln cent design, by Victor David Brenner, was still in full swing, its portrait of the 16th president weathering the decade since its 1909 debut. On the reverse was Frank Gasparo's detailed depiction of the Lincoln Memorial. Business as usual, or so it seemed. But even with the most precise machinery, perfection is a myth. Coins are born fast, hundreds per minute, under enormous pressure and heat. Dies were down, hubs misaligned, metal blanks shift. And sometimes, just sometimes, something unexpected happens. A penny emerges with a twist of fate, an error, a flaw, or in the rarest of cases, such pristine detail that it stuns even the sharpest graders. This is how an ordinary penny becomes extraordinary. This is how a 1996 D cent becomes a numismatic legend. Some of these coins feature what collectors call striking anomalies. A doubled die can cause the date or lettering to appear doubled, an eerie ghost image echoing across the surface. A misaligned die might throw Lincoln's profile off-center, giving the coin an unnerving tilt. Others may have planchet defects, clipped edges, or even a transitional composition, a rare case where the metal content isn't what it's supposed to be. But the most breathtaking specimens aren't just error coins. They're survivors. Coins that somehow, against all odds, remained untouched by time. Mint state grades are where the magic happens. Imagine a coin struck cleanly, perfectly, then whisked away before it could even be nicked or scratched. Stored carefully, forgotten, protected from the endless friction that wears down most coins within weeks. When one of these untouched 1996 D. Lincoln cent surfaces, graded MS-67 or MS-68 by top-tier services like PCGS. It sends shockwaves through the collecting world. Because the higher the grade, the rarer the coin. And when rarity meets condition, prices start to soar. Auction houses have seen the phenomenon play out firsthand. At first, the bidding starts slow, perhaps a few thousand, the kind of price reserved for collectors who know what they're chasing. But as the crowd realizes what's at stake, the bids rise. 10,000, 25, 40. And then, as the final seconds tick down, someone makes a bold move. A six-figure bid. And just like that, a penny, yes, a 1-cent coin, crosses the $100,000 mark. The hammer drops. The room falls silent. And another legend is born. But what makes this journey truly captivating isn't just the price tag. It's the idea that a coin so easily dismissed could be worth a fortune. That something so small, so ordinary in appearance, could carry such weight. That maybe, just maybe, you've held something this special and never even realized it. Collectors know this feeling. It's part hope, part obsession. The joy of discovery. The thrill of the unknown. The heart-pounding moment when a magnifying glass reveals doubling on the date. Or when a coin pulled from a roll looks unusually crisp. It's a rush like no other. And it's not just long-time hobbyists who are swept up in this world. Casual viewers, people who've never thought twice about a penny before, find themselves leaning closer, digging through jars, rechecking old rolls. Because the 1996 D. Lincoln cent is more than a collector's prize. It's a reminder that treasure doesn't always glitter. Sometimes it's copper-plated, 1 inch wide, and hiding in plain sight, that there's something deeply emotional about these coins. They carry the fingerprints of history. They move through generations, through pockets and palms and drawers. And then, when they're finally recognized for what they are, they become something more. They become storytellers, time capsules, symbols of patience, curiosity, and a relentless pursuit of detail. Oh, what's the takeaway? Next time you're handed change, pause. Look closer. Flip that penny over. Does the D beneath the 1996 date seem unusually crisp? Is the coin's surface pristine, without a blemish in sight? Is there something off? An edge that's clipped, a face that's shifted, a date that dances ever so slightly in the light? You might be holding a mystery. You might be holding history. You might be holding a fortune. Because hidden among those countless 1996 D. Lincoln cents are rare gems that have sold at auction for jaw-dropping amounts. Some starting at $19,000 and climbing all the way to an incredible $110,000. All it takes is a closer look, and maybe a little bit of luck. Imagine you're walking down the street, and you spot a penny lying on the ground. You bend down, pick it up, and glance at it. Just another Lincoln cent, dull copper in color, minted in 1987. You toss it into your pocket and move on, thinking nothing of it. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking coin, this simple 1-cent piece you almost didn't notice, could be worth tens of thousands of dollars? Welcome to the mysterious, thrilling world of rare pennies hiding in plain sight. This is not a fantasy. This is the story of a 1987 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, a tiny sliver of metal with a hidden history, a past riddled with minting mishaps, collector fervor, and auction floor fireworks. And it's a story that might just be sitting in your change jar right now. The 1987 D. Lincoln cent was minted at the Denver Mint, marked by the subtle D beneath the date. It was a year like any other for the Lincoln cent series. Billions of these coins were churned out, each bearing the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, solemn and stoic, designed by Victor David Brennerbach in 1909. On the reverse, still echoing Frank Gasparo's enduring image of the Lincoln Memorial, standing proud and symmetrical. At first glance, nothing about the 1987 D penny screams rarity. In fact, it's one of the most common coins of that decade. But what makes some of them rare, what elevates a penny from pocket change to prize collectible, isn't in the count. It's in the details. It's in the anomalies. It's in the errors the naked eye barely sees, but a trained collector treasures like gold. Among the vast ocean of 1987, D. Lincoln cents lies a precious few that slipped through the cracks. Coins with striking errors, unique die variations, or ultra-high grades that make them worth more than their weight in silver, gold, or even platinum. These coins weren't meant to be special. But fate, friction, and the mechanical missteps of the U.S. Mint turned them into numismatic royalty. For instance, some 1987 D cents show dramatic doubling. Errors where the design appears to have been stamped twice, creating ghost-like shadows in the lettering, date, or Lincoln's profile. Others show off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or weak dies that give the coin a ghostly, half-finished look. These are minting flaws, yes, but to collectors they're treasures like fingerprints left by history itself. Then there are those exceptional examples graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Coins struck so perfectly, preserved so immaculately, that they've earned the elusive MS-67 or even MS-68 grade. Think about this. Out of billions minted, only a microscopic fraction survive in such pristine condition. These are the coins that ignite bidding wars at auctions, the ones that collectors whisper about in forums and conventions. When one of these rare 1987 D Lincoln cents surfaced at a prominent auction, collectors watched with bated breath. The bids started modestly. Then the tension climbed. 10,000, 15,000, 25,000. And when the final gavel fell, the room erupted. That penny, a tiny, copper-plated zinc disc most would overlook, sold for over $70,000. A 1-cent coin, turning into a windfall worth more than a new car, more than some homes, all because of condition, error, and timing. The backstory makes it all the more incredible. In 1982, the U.S. Mint switched the composition of the penny from 95% copper to a zinc core with a thin copper plating, drastically altering how the coin reacts to wear, corrosion, and striking pressure. By 1987, the minting process had mostly stabilized, but not entirely. The Denver Mint, in its relentless production pace, let a few flawed or special examples slip through. These oddities, initially unnoticed, now form the foundation of a collector's dream. A penny that escaped the monotony of uniformity to become something exceptional, something collectible, something unforgettable. For seasoned collectors, the thrill isn't just in owning these coins, it's in the hunt. The hours spent sifting through rolls, examining every tiny curve and edge under magnification, looking for that one coin that doesn't quite match the rest. That one coin that might have a slightly rotated die, or a faint doubling, or just that perfect, untouched surface that screams MS-68. That moment of discovery, when an unassuming penny reveals its secrets, is pure electricity. For casual viewers, it might sound unbelievable, almost magical. But it's real. It happens more often than you think. And with the 1987 D penny, it has happened again and again, quietly, astonishingly. To people who dared to look a little closer, there's an emotional pull to these coins, too. They connect us to history, to moments when things didn't go quite as planned. They tell stories of mistakes turned into masterpieces, of ordinary becoming extraordinary. Every fingerprint, every scratch, every shimmer under the right light is a clue, a breadcrumb on the trail to something special. Some collectors hold onto these coins not just for profit, but for the sheer joy of possessing a piece of flawed perfection. A penny that defied the odds. A relic that whispers secrets from the minting floor, from history, from the hands it passed through on its journey to discovery.so. The next time you find a 1987 D penny, don't toss it aside. Don't let its ordinary appearance fool you. Look closer. Hold it to the light. Feel its weight. Study its surface, inspect its edges. What seems like pocket change could very well be a hidden gem, a forgotten marvel of American minting. It might be the coin that changes your life, or at least your collection. Because in the world of numismatics, it's not about what the coin was supposed to be. It's about what it became. And some of those seemingly ordinary 1987 D Lincoln cents have become worth between $16,500 and an astonishing $78,000. All waiting to be found, maybe even in your very own pocket.